Andy Broadaway, I'm a business strategic advisor. At a young age, I was very curious and I always asked questions about how things were done and about the process of things. I always was fascinated by asking a lot of questions about just every area. So there's a variety of people that inspired me, particularly the people that are in the personal development field, because I believe that personal development is really the key to any success. So there's a lot of people in that area, from Tony Robbins to Jim Rohn to Joseph McClendon to people like that are in the personal development field. Those are the people that inspire me to do what I do now. So the earlier days for me were, I always had a dream of being an entrepreneur. My first business I had was when I was 16 years old, and I started the business of putting car stereos into cars and absolutely loved doing it. And that's what spawned my curiosity for entrepreneurship. Everyone that I would come in contact with, I would say to them, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to be in business for myself. I'm not going to let somebody else tell me what I need to do. So I have a routine daily that inspires me. One is that I wake up with gratitude. I think about what is great going on in my life. I put a minimum of 5 things that I'm grateful for, but most of the time I do a couple of dozen. And then I read books and listen to audio. So at a bare minimum, I'm reading 30 minutes a day, sometimes even longer, and I'm listening to some sort of positive, productive material. I have a daily routine that I must feed my mind. So what gets me up in the morning is just a pure idea of knowing that one of my outcomes that I want to achieve is to be able to inspire more people, either directly or indirectly, what I do. One of my number one goals that I had was I wanted to be in business for myself. I wanted to be able to wake up and look at the boss in the mirror. I wanted to be able to say, do I take the day off or do I do something else? I always wanted to be in business for myself. I think one of the biggest hardships that I've ever had to overcome was stuttering. Now, at an early age, I would stutter and really not even be able to get my name out most of the time. And that was one of the biggest challenges that I had when I was growing up. But people see me now and wonder, well, how did you stutter? Like, you communicate really well. You're in front of thousands of people presenting. And I forced myself not to stutter anymore by putting myself in environments where I became uncomfortable with, and then I became comfortable with it. So one of the very first things that I did in my earlier years is I sought out personal development material. One of the guys that I found was a guy named Earl Nightingale, and he had this audio called The Strangest Secret. Then that led me to listening to Jim Rohn, and that led me to listening to Tony Robbins and following a lot of his teaching. And then that led me to other people in the personal development field, like Brian Tracy, Dennis Waitley, Joseph McClendon. I think one of the things that excite me the most about what I do is that I'm constantly in the cutting edge of discovering new technology and new ideas on how to do things and how to reach people and how to impact people, either indirectly or directly. I think the best piece of advice that I could give to someone is go find a mentor, someone that is in the area in which you want to inspire in and where you want to grow at. Somebody that you could either learn from directly or indirectly. And what I mean by that is sometimes we can't find a mentor that we can reach out and talk to on the phone. However, we could find the materials online and we can get mentored by them through either books that they wrote, audio, or videos that they've done. So the best piece of advice I can give to you is go find someone that you're inspired, that you can grow from and get a mentor in. Mentorship is critically important. I think what brings me joy and brings the most excitement is when I'm sitting across the table from a client or talking to them on the phone that we just had a breakthrough with one of their people or one of their customers that called them and said, thank you very much for what you do. I think what brings me excitement is when I get off the stage and somebody walks up to me and says, Andy, thank you very much for what you do. Now I'm excited to go do something else. I want to inspire people. I don't want to motivate people. I believe that my purpose in life is to help people build a legacy of content that they can help people be better in life, to help them grow, to be inspired. That's what I'm most excited about. I think one of my favorite quotes that I use, and you hear me talk about it on video and talk about it while I'm on stage, is that Jim Rohn says, stand guard at the door of your mind. I think this is critically important because most people fill their minds, their hearts, and their souls with audios and videos and books that they're reading that are not helping them advance their life. It's critical for us to stand guard at the door of our mind in every area of our life. I want to be remembered that I've left a legacy that inspired people directly and indirectly. And what I mean by that is I want to be able to indirectly work with people that directly impact the lives of others. And then I also want to leave a legacy behind that I have positively impacted every person that's come across me, whether they listen to an audio, whether they listen to a video, or whether they read one of my books, or they're at one of my seminars. I want to be able to directly inspire those people. This is Andy Broadaway, and this is a story behind my brand.